Barton cane, revolutionizing gouged, shaped, and profiled bassoon cane with precision, consistency, and love since 2012. Leave the cane processing to them. Free up time to practice, take a romantic dinner cruise, or cuddle on the couch with your cat on a rainy day and listen to the Double Reed Dish podcast. Enter coupon code Double Reed Dish Rocks My World for free shipping on your next Barton Cane order. Visit www.bartoncane.com.
Edmund Nielsen Woodwinds has been serving the Double Reed community for 70 years. Nielsen sells a wide variety of oboe, oboe d'amore, English horn, bassoon, and contrabassoon reeds and cane, as well as reed-making accessories, reed cases, and lafrex. And of course, they have the classic Nielsen wedge knife, which features a double hollow ground and choice of handle size. In addition, they have many other knives available. Nielsen has long been known for their large Heckel bassoon bocal inventory. Fill out their online trial form to find the perfect Heckel bocal for you. For all your double reed accessory needs, Nielsen is ready to help you.
Hi, I'm Galit Kaunitz.
And I'm Jackie Wilson. And you're listening to Double Reed Dish,
a podcast for oboists,
bassoonists,
and the people who love them.
I still can't believe we're in two different time zones. I almost said timelines.
I know, it's time for you to eat dinner almost.
No, we eat dinner super late.
Oh. Well, yeah. I wake up at 5, so it would be time for me to eat dinner if I was hanging out with you and Becky.
If you were hanging out with me and Becky, we would eat dinner number 1 now, and then we would eat dinner number 2 closer to 8 o'clock. Because 8:30 is when my biological clock tells me it's time to get ready for bed.
We'd be like hobbits, double breakfast. It's like 2 dinners. What about second dinner?
You know what's even better than 2 dinners is breakfast and then a breakfast nap.
Oh.
The old wake up, have your coffee, have your breakfast, and then take a nap is my favorite thing.
See, I have all my go-go juice in the morning, and so I tend to really slow down and love to take time for myself in the early afternoon. That's when I'll hit a wall and be like, I need a nap, I need to read a book, watch a show, take a bubble bath. So I'm a fan of the afternoon nap more than the morning nap, but I'm pro nap.
I'm also pro nap.
Whatever it looks like.
So we are trying to think of ways to stay pumped up, to stay excited, to stay invigorated.
Positive, optimistic.
Yup. So I want to know what's been making you happy lately.
Well, if I'm just thinking of today, the things that are making me happy. I just got done listening all the way through. He's been releasing individual videos, but Connor Chi, who is a Navajo pianist, has been doing this project of short, essentially music videos, but it's for solo piano called Scenes from Dineta.
Stellar.
It's his original compositions inspired by aspects of his Navajo culture. But then he is making these amazing high quality video accompaniments from around the Navajo Nation. So an auntie making fry bread and then he's doing piano to it, or a weaver making a traditional Navajo blanket or sheep or whatever. And so it's this great visual to go along with this just beautiful music. It makes you smile. And I watched all the way back through that because I watched the individual videos as they came out, but it's really conceived of as a whole. And then it's been accepted for several like film festivals. It's
Oh
super
my
cool.
God.
Like how we've talked about, oh, for, if we're lucky, COVID will make us kind of like more creative and think outside the box. And this is kind of the epitome of like, what could that be? The coolest thing I could conceive of is this project of Connor's. We can link to it in the show notes.
Yes.
That's what I was listening to today, and that's what I'm psyched about today. I'm
That's
trying to think if there's
amazing.
anything else. What about you?
Well, mine is not nearly so epic. I've been listening to the Dvorak Slavonic dances a lot. I have very fond memories of this piece because when I was in high school, I think I had like the flu or I had this bad ear infection or something, and I remember having a fever dream, and I was listening to the Slavonic dances, and it was like playing a very big part in my dream, and I remember thinking that they were like amazing but also endless. It was like never ending. It was like the Slavonic dances, but it felt like they went on and on and on.
Well, some people would say they do.
So I have a record player, and I have like an actual record of the Slavonic dances, and so that's what's been in my record player, and I've been putting it on in the mornings because I'm trying not to watch a ton of TV. I have been watching chiropractor videos on YouTube.
You know what is also amazing is watching, and this is not like
Massage.
or anything, but yes, massage.
Massage, yes.
If it's all these like tutorials for like massage therapists.
Does it
like,
make you so relaxed?
and you just feel your body relaxing as if you're the one getting the massage.
Yeah.
Yes, chiropractic videos, massage videos, cosign, like super cosign.
Fever dream Slavonic dances. Yes.
But you know what? I also want to shout out, and call me basic if you all want.
I will.
I've been loving the new Taylor Swift album, Folklore.
Yay!
I don't know, the toned downness of it, the unpluggedness of it. I really like her lyrical sense and the way she uses text. And I find myself just going back to that over and over and over. If I'm in the car, that's what I turn on. But I highly recommend that.
Well, that's good. I'm going to copy my podcast hero, Garrett McQueen, from the Triloquy podcast and say that my favorite composer is Beyonce. So I've been listening to a lot of Triloquy podcasts too. That's been really awesome as well. Sometimes I'm not in the mood to listen to music. Isn't that strange?
I have to agree. Like maybe it's because we spend our whole lives making and assessing and thinking about music professionally that I pretty much only listen to music if I'm on like working out or doing something athletic where I need to get lost in the beat. But no, I agree. I prefer either listening to a podcast or watching a show on like Hulu or Netflix or something. I don't tend to actually consume a lot of music. It's true. Oh, you know what else? Since this dish is just like us shouting out our favorite things,
Yeah.
I'm some things I'm re-consuming because they're just so good. I couldn't only consume them once. I am currently rereading Americana
Ooh,
by Chimamanda Ngozi Adichie.
that was such a good book.
I know. I'm actually rereading your copy that you let me borrow.
Oh my God, is that where it is? I totally forgot that I let you borrow it.
She let me borrow it 8 years ago.
Yeah.
So once I'm done rereading it, you can have it back.
It's fine at this point. You can keep it. Consider it a gift.
And then I'm also, for those of you who like true crime,
Me.
the podcast Cold, which is like a
Yes.
super deep dive. It's like over 20 hours of reporting or something into the disappearance of Susan Cox Powell. And I listened to it, loved it. And then I made Chris listen to it. And so now he's been talking to me about it because he's
Oh
listened
my
to it
God,
this
he's
time.
finally listening to it.
And so I'm like, I want to go back and listen to that. So I'm restarting Cold. And that is a very, very exciting podcast, or I guess intriguing. I don't know. With tragic stuff like that, you don't want to ensconce it in like
Yeah, it's not
good.
like exciting.
Yeah, it's
but
good
it's well
reporting.
produced.
Yes.
And the story of it is absolutely bananas.
Yeah, it's very captivating, but of course,
in a
like,
terrible way.
True crime affects real people, so we don't want to be like
right.
cavalier about it.
Right. Also, this is the start of spooky season, so I have been listening to Spooked. Snap Judgment presents Spooked. It's all these people telling their own true creepy stories of things that have happened to them. It's like ghost stories from your regular person in their own words.
This has more from my favorite things to like Halloween's coming. Here's
Halloween
media for you to.
Is anybody doing like Bassoon concerts?
I don't know. We'll have to see because performing looks so different, you know?
I know. I wish we did. We could do like a double read dish spooky Halloween something.
A costume contest.
A costume contest.
And then there's a giveaway. We just decided it here on the podcast. So we're going to do a giveaway. The prize is TBD.
Yeah, we don't know yet.
Okay, so this dish has been a little wandering, I'm just going to say, but I feel like we got to a good place.
Specializing in the finest assortment of oboes, clarinets, bassoons, and their accessories, RDG Woodwinds serves musicians from around the world. Their employees are all professional musicians who have a deep knowledge of the products they sell. RDG's repair shop has an international reputation with a combined 100 plus years of experience among the 5 repair technicians. Plain and simple, RDG provides excellent products and fabulous customer service. Visit them at rdgwoodwinds.com. They look forward to working with you.
Chemical City Double Reeds is a full-service double reed shop specializing in the sale of instruments, cane, accessories, and sheet music. Double Reed Dish listeners can enjoy free shipping with code DRDISH, all caps, no spaces. Visit them in Baton Rouge, Louisiana, or online at chemicalcityreeds.com.
We are so excited to be talking to Rie Koyama, principal bassoon with the Deutsche Kammerphilharmonie Bremen and world-famous bassoon soloist. Welcome to the podcast.
Hello.
Could you start by telling us how you began playing the bassoon?
I was 9 years old, and actually when I was 3, I wanted to become a violinist. Went to my father and requested the violin, but he was absolutely against me playing violin because violin costs a lot if I become a professional musician, and it's also really difficult to become an orchestral musician to get a job. So he was completely against, and with 6 years old I wanted to become a flutist, and then he said, "Oh, flute, I can't teach you, and this is not best instrument to me." So I have tried with 9 years old with the bassoon, and I was always listening to his practicing, and when he was playing concerts I was always there and listening very happily to his playing. So I have decided to play the bassoon, and he was really, really happy that I have finally decided for bassoon. And I still remember that was 3rd of March in 2010 or something, and he somehow managed to bring a bassoon home, and next morning when I woke up there was a bassoon in our living room, and I could start with the bassoon straight afterwards. Yeah,
that's amazing.
Yeah, can you talk to us about your training on the bassoon, your education, and when you started to think, I want to be a professional musician, I think this is what I want to do with my life?
This question I never had. It's really funny because my parents, they were both professional musicians. My mom is a singer and my father is a bassoonist. So this question never came up. I was quite sure that I'm going to become a musician, professional musician. And first I have started to practice only with reeds and then plus vocal, and I got every week one part of the bassoon added. So that after 5-6 weeks was the bassoon kind of completely, and my hands were too small to hold the bassoon. So that was a good preparation to start the bassoon. I have studied with my father. I went to a junior class at the university where my father is teaching. That's in south of Germany, in Trossingen. And I was 14 when I get in and studied my bachelor's there. And also, we say it Konzertexamen. This is what you study after master's. So this kind of studies I've finished with him. And I also studied with Dag Jensen in Munich for 3 semesters. And I unfortunately had to stop studying. Even I really, really loved studying with him because I got the job in Bremen, so I couldn't manage to get lessons in Munich. But I am still learning a lot what he told me about playing bassoon.
Amazing.
I would love to hear about your audition process, winning that first job at such a young age.
It was a really nice experience to me. I did only 3 auditions in my life before winning the position now. I have a very, very good friend in Bremen, and I was visiting her quite often in the summer vacation. And she once told me, "Oh, Ria, do you know about the orchestra?" And I completely didn't know about the orchestra, unfortunately. And she said, I will talk to the principal Bassoon player of Deutsche Kammerphilharmonie if he needs any substitute. And I was like, okay, I don't know about the orchestra, but it sounds great. And one day, the principal bassoon player, Eugenio, is a Spanish guy, fantastic bassoon player. I really admire. He called me once, we don't know each other, but do you want to play a project in our orchestra? And then I had some free time, so of course I accepted. And first I came here, it was like friends that, or the feeling of being in this orchestra was so natural, and I didn't have to be nervous. Of course, I was a little bit nervous because I haven't played much orchestra works before, but not because of people. And it was like a little family after the project already. And the next time when he called me, I of course accepted again for another project. And in this project, some of the orchestra musicians told me that they are planning to have an audition for principal bassoon for 50% or just for a year, because my colleague Eugenio wanted to have some free time and he wanted to reduce. So, and then I was told from the musicians that they are going to have an audition. But unfortunately, the audition date was not possible for me to join. So after I told to the orchestra that I'm not able to join the audition, they told me, "Oh, yeah, then just play Weber Concerto, a little bit of Mozart, and some excerpts you like. You just choose whatever you want. You just play for us 30 minutes, and we will record it, or we will consider you're playing in the real audition, and we will let you know 2 weeks later how we have decided." So I just spontaneously played some works for them. It was really funny feeling. I was not nervous at all because I didn't have anybody except me preparing Mozart and Weber Concerto in the warming up room. So it was so nice feeling. And then 2 weeks after, I was in Japan, and I have received a phone call from the orchestra that I have got the job. And that was actually a contract for a year, and this has been extended for another year. And then after 2 years, I got a real job because he has finally decided to stay with 50% for his rest of the orchestra life. So that's the story of me getting into this orchestra.
That sounds like such a natural and easy and fortuitous transition.
Hmm.
Do you feel like the best opportunities happen that way?
Yeah, indeed.
It's
Yes.
just kind of is meant to be, and if it happens, then it
Mm.
happens.
Yeah, it is. The orchestra is really like a family. I talk about my private things to everyone and with everyone, and we are taking care of each other. And especially in this crisis, it's helped me a lot having these people in Berlin.
In your role as principal bassoonist, what have you learned doing this job about what it takes to be a great principal bassoonist? What advice do you have for people about how to be in this role successfully?
Mm, I'm actually thinking very often about that. It is a balance of showing myself, but also being respectful to other musicians. There are two roles. Sometimes one has a big solo and other one has to accompany. And the best would be everyone should be able to play in both roles. So like in the orchestra, sometimes you have a big solo and you need to be a big soloist in that moment. But maybe 10 seconds after, I also have to be really quiet to make some space for the others. So it's a question of a balance. When is my time and when is the time for others? This is also when I criticize someone or when someone is criticizing me, how with what kind of words I use or how do I speak to the others? How can I be more respectful to the others? This is more a lesson of for human being or for my personality. Yeah, not about playing, but more like for my my personality.
Mm-hmm.
When you listen to auditions on the other side of the table, what is important to you in a candidate? What do you value in a successful candidate that you would like to hire to play with you in your orchestra?
The most thing where I get inspired is when people are showing joy of making music and enthusiastic playing, because this can we cannot learn it. It's a question, you have it or you don't have it. Technical things you can practice and you can make it better, but this enthusiasm is not possible to learn. So it's maybe one of the most important thing I listen to the candidates.
It's beautiful.
And it's very fitting. I became familiar with your playing on YouTube, watching you as a concerto soloist, and you are so dynamic and engaging as a performer. When you approach performing a concerto or a recital as a soloist, is that different from your mindset as an orchestral audition? And how do you prepare to be in that role as the star? Is that any different from being an orchestral musician?
When I play solo, I don't care much about the others. I try to make my music, and of course, it's always a dialogue between the orchestra and me. But I'm trying to show what I want to do. This I also have learned when I got into the orchestra. It is really hard if to accompany someone if the person doesn't know much how to make music or how to build the music. So it's much easier. You can understand what the soloist wants. So I try to imagine I can do whatever I want, and then we can fix it afterwards if I have to reduce my freedom. this is no problem. But first I show my world, and then we will fix it somehow. In the orchestra I always care that everything stays together, everything is harmonic, and also between the colleagues, the balance should be fine. So it's more like control, but solo is more like freedom.
How does memorization play a role in your preparation for these solo opportunities? Is that something that you enjoy doing? Is it something that you had to work hard at?
You mean playing by heart?
Uh-huh.
Oh, it's I never liked it, but but sometimes it has to be. In competition, I had to memorize quite many things. When I'm on stage, I was always freaking out because I was nervous that I'm going to forget a line or next phrase. What note was the next phrase, which is the starting note. And if I think more and more, I get crazy. So each time I was very happy when I have done the concert or the competition, and thought never again. But it's not my favorite way of playing on stage because it needs more energy, and sometimes it's disturbing me being free and to tell some story to the audience. Even there's no stance between me and audience. It's so crazy, but sometimes it makes me nervous, and which is not, shouldn't be like that. Yeah.
Do you typically deal with nerves or performance anxiety? Is that something that you've had to learn to deal with over the course of your career?
I think I'm not really nervous in a concert since I have done a lot of house concerts. I got a prize in 2012 in Germany. After winning the competition, I got 30 or 40 concert opportunities from German Music Society, and they have organized 40 house concerts. So you're really playing in front of people, in front of the audience, like with 1 meter distance, and they really can look into your face, and they even could touch me if they want. So like this kind of concerts made me more and more relaxing and more happy to play for people. And it's not, I could learn that I'm not playing for jury or for anybody who is judging me, or I'm telling some musical stories to people. It's like talking to them. And also in this opportunity, I've learned how to talk to the audience. I really loved, in the end, after 40 concerts, to talk in the concert and talk about bassoon, talk about me, talk about the piece. This was so nice as experience for me.
It sounds like exposure therapy. Like if you're afraid of flying, then they just put you on 40 planes.
Exactly. Yeah.
In that vein, I would love to hear about your preparation for these big concerts. How do you approach your practice so that you don't feel as nervous in the execution of the concert?
Mm-hmm.
Well, and maybe not to interrupt, but you've been so successful in competition that I'd love to hear about competition preparation as well in terms of that.
Yeah, I can also tell you how I prepared in Munich. It was quite crazy. That was a very hot summer, 2013 maybe. And I have started practicing maybe half a year before the competition was started, and tried to organize all the pieces I have never played, and also pieces I have played before, but tried to be finished with my preparation 3 months before competition. And I tried to make reads that they were ready 3 months before the competition. And then to focus on the work, what is the name? Commissioned work. Yes, commissioned work. Because that was quite hard. So that was the process for me in Munich. But generally, I try to make the time before the competition much harder than the competition itself. That I make a concert or I give a concert maybe 1 week before the competition starts with all the program I have to play, that I have played everything through in front of the audience. If possible, I also invited people who made me especially nervous, friends or like teachers and who really know about music. I try to make the most nervous, try to call people who made me the most frightening. And then the week between, after the week in between, I tried to fix some little things, final check with my pieces, and then went to the competition. So the competition itself was hard, but I usually have a lot of other worries, like you have to be there for interviews, I have to be there for the TV conversation or whatever, and then I don't have much time to care about myself, so I try to do everything before so that I only go and play without any stress.
It sounds like your preparation is extremely disciplined, but you're also willing to make yourself vulnerable, and you're courageous in bringing people in whose opinions that you care about. Do you find those qualities in musicians who are at the top of the field? Do you find those qualities present among many of your colleagues, that willingness to make yourself vulnerable and that willingness to go the extra mile in the discipline and the preparation? I'm just like looking at the number of people who audition compared to the number of people who win or place. In your opinion, what do you think makes the difference?
I find it's more like a luck. You have to be lucky. And I could also have a really bad day, and I could also have played like a shit on first day or second day. It's nobody knows, but the thing is, you try always your best. If I always tried my best, then maybe 70% of my best could be delivered in the competition. So nobody's wishing getting a third prize. Everyone is wishing to get a first prize. So it's like this kind of mind setting that you always try to get the first prize, but in the end you get the second prize, but you're still happy that you got something. So, but if I only try to get through the first round, I would never get a first prize. And this mind setting changes the preparation before the competition, I think. It's a lot of luck.
So we told our listeners that we were going to be interviewing you, and we had many excited bassoonists who had questions that they wanted us to ask. So Elizabeth Crawford, who is a professor here in the United States in Idaho, says you're one of her favorite performers. She's super excited to hear this. And she wants to know about your reed making style, and specifically how your reed making style relates to your concept of sound.
I'm using quite a narrow shaper. It's number 5 of Georg Rieger. And not so many people are using this number 5, but I don't want to sound around me loud. I want to sound very big outside outside the stage. So this is just my image of making sounds that if I'm playing on my quite narrow reed, that it has more direction to the audience, that it can be more resonating outside there. My reeds are not hard at all. In the first day when I play my reeds, the C sharp, you probably know the C sharp is going quite low if the reed is too soft. These kind of reeds I love. And after 2 days, 3 days, if I play on the same reed, being patient, not getting angry with the reed, and then the reed is getting a little stronger, and then I try to fix them to make the reed speaking better or whatever. But my reeds are quite soft because I don't like pushing and playing against a lot of what is the word in English?
Resistance, maybe?
Resistance, yes.
Yeah.
Yes. I don't like to play with too much resistance. So, yeah, very light reeds with quite narrow shaper.
In the US, pretty much everyone makes reeds for themselves. But through the podcast, we've spoken to several European players who purchase reeds. And you've mentioned several times that you make your own reeds. Are you unique in Europe in the decision to make your own reeds? And why is that important for you to do?
My friends around me, they are also making their reeds by themselves. Friends who is playing quite a long time in the orchestra, I know a couple of people who are buying their reeds. I don't find it unique that I'm making my reeds myself, but I love making reeds because I know then what I have made, how I have made, and how I have to correct them, and what kind of cane I have used. All these informations are important to me. And actually, the life of a reed is longer if I make myself, because I know in this case, after playing 1 week, the reed has changed a little bit, and then I can do something to make the life a little longer. If I would buy it and I don't know how the reed was produced, I might throw it away when it's not working anymore. But now I know how I have to adjust them. So yeah, I enjoy it. Sometimes it makes me crazy, trying a lot, but nothing is speaking, nothing is great at all. So, but that's life.
Yeah, I can relate.
Elizabeth also asked, what is your approach to vibrato?
Oh, yeah, good question. I think when I have to play a phrase, I have to play it with my body. It's not I give air and make phrase. It's more like I'm controlling my phrase with my belly somehow. So it comes from the bottom of the body. And vibrato is it's like a makeup. So trying to make a phrase from the bottom of the body is like a beautiful face. And then vibrato is just putting makeup on the face.
I love that so much.
And the makeup could be fantastic, or the makeup could make even worse. So vibrato is something that could make fantastic music or fantastic phrase, but it sometimes can make worse than than the origin. So the question is when and what kind of vibrato you play at which place. When the phrase is going on and you are approaching to the goal, then you have to use vibratos which are fast, and it shouldn't get less in a dynamic, of course, and the inner feeling is approaching to the goal. So it's a different vibrato than after approaching the goal. When it's getting calm, then it's slower, or yeah, there are so many types of vibratos. If you vibrate the note at the beginning of the note, or later on, or just the middle, or just the beginning and then and less, or getting more. So like starting without vibrato and then more vibrato afterwards. So there are so many types, and it's really interesting trying every type of the vibrato for one place. Then you can find out, oh, this is not matching to this phrase. Okay, next one. Okay, this one makes more sense. Okay, the third one, no, this can't be. So like it's always a searching for the best combination, and sometimes you find a unique one, and you find a new version of vibrato which you have never tried before.
I love that analogy. Can I steal it in my teaching? I'm like, girl, your foundation does
makeup,
not match your skin
girl.
tone.
Yes.
Yeah. We had another question about approaches to style and ornamentation, and how you go about conveying style, and if there are any resources that you've used in your preparation for that.
Basically, for Baroque music, I admire one cellist, Christoph Kwang. He's teaching in Basel and he's playing Baroque cello. And when I play Baroque music, I'm always thinking about him. How would he phrase? How would he play this music? He has played Vivaldi sonatas, which we sometimes also play on bassoon. And I have listened to his recording day and night when I was a teenager. I was listening almost every day, and I loved it. And also, I loved playing of cellists a lot. I didn't listen much to bassoonists, a lot to cellists, pianists, violinists. Yeah, this musician has inspired me a lot playing Baroque music. Baroque music is for me going crazy, but in style. It's always so it's always going to be really crazy in the end, somehow, with ornamentation. So the most craziest ornamentation you think about when I have a walk with my dog and go around my house and walking, and I suddenly think, oh, this could be the most amazing ornamentation or whatever. So most of the ornamentation I used when I got these ideas when I was not practicing without instrument. Yeah, I love going crazy with Baroque music a lot, but it still should be in style. I can't explain what is in style, and each one has a style, so nothing is wrong. But for me, go crazy as you can. And Mozart is more like, more elegant, and never play fortissimo in Mozart concerto, or like there are a lot of rules which I have learned more and more. When I was 16 or 17, I played a very wide way of Mozart. I still liked it that time, and now I still like it too, but it has become different after years, because I've learned, because I played a lot of Mozart symphonies, and I thought, okay, in Mozart concerto, this I can't do anymore. This is maybe a little bit too crazy, and it was more a work of omit my ideas or omit some craziness, which the Baroque music is the different way. The Baroque music is quite easy and simple, and you have to add the craziness, and the classical music is how to make it simple, more simple, and still beautiful. So it's two different directions.
Mm-hmm. I love that so
I
much.
love that. I feel like
I
I just
know.
got a master class in style.
I'm just going to steal everything that you say. It's just all going in my
I guess.
teaching now. Do you have a favorite memory from being on the stage in a past performance? Is there something that really sticks out to you as a beautiful experience?
Yes. I have a wind quintet with my friends. Three of them are from South Korea, and the home player is from Portugal. And we went to a competition in Copenhagen 2015. And I still remember how fantastic this competition was. We have practiced like crazy, like weeks before. We had to play Schönberg Quintet, which is a really, really tough piece. Always counting, and difficult entrances. Balance-wise was also very difficult. But this competition, I really enjoyed playing quintet with my dearest friends. On stage, we were so nervous, but we have made it. And the feeling after the competition, being not alone, or also during the competition, being not alone in this competition, has made me so happy. And yeah, the competition itself was very special to me. Since then, I mean, also before, but since then, the approach to chamber music or to my quintet has changed. But it got one of my most important things in my musical career, which I want to continue.
I'd love to hear you expand on that. I'm intrigued about the approach to rehearsing such intense repertoire as a group.
Oh, I don't know. I'm the one who is talking a lot in the rehearsal, and I hate myself during the rehearsal because I'm talking too much. Sometimes I wish other people could say more, and because I hate if the room is getting silent when I'm talking.
So this interview experience is fantastic for you, right?
No. But I'm talking about the rehearsal when I'm the only person speaking or criticizing something. Makes me feel very bad. But it's chamber music rehearsal is always more about giving up something, because I cannot push everything. And I've learned a lot to give up some ideas I actually wanted to try. I mean, we could try, but I thought this must be balanced. It's more a work for me to control myself, to be respectful after years of playing together, that the ideas of the others are also fantastic.
I love that idea. I love that idea that chamber music is about giving things up to the other people in your group. That is such a generous idea.
Yeah, but actually I'm also gaining a lot of their ideas. I'm learning a lot new styles I've never tried when I would have played alone all my life. So I am constantly learning through chamber music. Of course, I'm giving up my idea, but my idea I know because it's my idea. But the others, they have their own fantastic colors and stories, and it's so nice to learn about the others. So it's not really giving up; it's more gaining other ideas.
Rie, what is your advice for a young musician who aspires to have a career like yours?
Be open to everything. I was quite shy trying baroque music in the beginning, or also too shy to listen to jazz music or to pop music. I was just too shy and not open enough to try to steal some ideas from the others, which you find beautiful. Try to make it yourself. sounding like them, because the more you meet fantastic people, the more you get also fantastic, you become fantastic. So the question is, are you able to find the speciality of each person? Are you able to get them? Are you able to deal with? It's a question of how open I am. So this openness makes one person very special.
This was absolutely wonderful. Rie Koyama, thank you so much.
Thank you too.
You are so brilliant, and we are absolutely grateful and thrilled that you were willing to spend some time with us today and share your brilliant ideas with us and our listeners.
Thank you for the interview.
Hey, thank you for hanging out with us for this episode. Don't forget to follow us on social media so you can be on top of our spooky giveaway announcement, and make sure to participate. And you'll know whenever we have a new episode coming out, so you won't miss a single one. Speaking of, Galit, who's coming up on the next episode?
Next, we have the ever lovely Carolyn Hove, solo English horn player with the Los Angeles Philharmonic. Jackie, we got to end this spooky nerd parade.
Go make spooky reads. All my reads are spooky right now.